Welcome to your morning cup with iBenz Academy. We're Kash.
Yay! I couldn't figure out if I Kara am I Ash. Who am I? What? Kash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we're Kash. Hi, I'm
That's
Ashley.
who we are. Hi, I'm Kara. It's so nice to be connecting again. It's been a little while.
Yes, we've been very busy these last few weeks.
Yes.
So we wanted to share some exciting updates about what we've been doing, really cool projects, and just to check in and connect and, continue the message of empowerment. So what have we been up to, Ash?
Well, a lot. What haven't we been doing? We've been working on amazing group projects. I mean, like a number of them. One through the Instant Manifestation Workshop alumni. We can talk more about that later, but we've also been working on groups with Walk With Me Now, projects that we're creating, things we're doing together. Of course, we have our training that we've been doing. So iBenz method mentoring training, and we've been developing the training for others as we're getting our training. And we started doing mentoring.
Yes.
And had in-person mentoring at the Shaman Shack just last weekend for 4 days. So there's been a lot going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also just enjoying these last few weeks of summer, at least in the, northern hemisphere.
Yep. Connecting with tribes that are, other tribes just locally, right? Like with Bertaria. I think you were connected with some tribes too.
Yep. Extending the family tribe and meeting new people. And also, we've been opening up and having new visitors coming to the Shaman Shack in our community.
Yeah.
And that's been really cool.
Yeah. New neighbors we've been meeting with.
Yeah,
and
new neighbors.
Checking out people's gardens.
Yes.
And
collecting blackberries and harvesting from the garden.
Oh my gosh, that's been amazing. Harvesting and cooking from the garden is just like, I love it. It's so good.
It is. I think our bodies are like, yes, more of this, please.
Yeah. Last night I was eating a tomato from the garden. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is the best tomatoes like
ever.
I just don't even need anything. I just want this tomato. It's so good. It was like one of those experiences, like just a little bit of salt on the tomato and
that's it.
Eat it like an apple.
Right? They just taste so different when they're homegrown. It's just incredible.
It's true. Homegrown with like good ingredients, nutrient soil,
lots
of love and high frequency. Yep.
Yeah. It's like, oh, right, this is food.
Yeah. Right.
The stuff we get at the
tomatoes
grocery store.
In the store are not quite the same. No.
I mean, it's nice to have a tomato in the middle of January.
Yeah,
it's true. Thank you, Human Collective, for delivering that. However, sometimes the fruits of summer just have to be enjoyed.
Yep. And just like putting our hand in the soil and just, like you were talking about, even just working with like all the blackberries bushes that we have in the area and picking blackberries and just like stopping on our walk to the beach, like stop and eat blackberries.
Yes. Blackberries everywhere. They're
going
huge.
out with a bowl to get blackberries so we can we can can it. It's just nice to have
lots of canning and
all of those. Yeah, and canning as a tribe, which makes it so much easier.
Yeah, and even the picking of a tribe is way more fun too.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll go out on Sunday brunch or after Sunday brunch, and a group will just go and pick blackberries, and then we'll have like 3 or 4 massive bowls, and just wow, so much abundance. It's that energy of Gaia, right? Of like, there's so much we can't like pick it all. It's just impossible.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So we've been up to quite a bit, actually.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's no shortage of things that we're engaging in, but it's all just so cool.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's interesting.
It's the high frequency life, you know? There's just, that's it. It's like all of these things. And so where do we want to begin? Wow. I guess that's a good summary of the last couple of weeks.
I know, it's high level. But yes, I mean, really that. Walking on the beach.
And checking out,
checking
out beautiful new areas in the Olympic Peninsula full of, magical rivers and mossy green land and amazing trees and just enjoying the sunshine, quite literally.
Yeah, it's been it's that time where it's like, just get out. Like, it's not time to stay indoors.
Yeah.
So it's time to go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're also happy to be back and connecting. We have some exciting work coming up. Shall I tell the audience?
Go for it.
All right. Well, a couple weeks ago, Inelia mentioned on Driving to the Reds that iBenz Academy will be releasing a new workshop soon. Ta-da!
Hey!
It's called the Power Objects Workshop. Very exciting. So, the Power Objects Workshop is a hands-on learning experience where you'll co-create with other members of your tribe. It's beginner-friendly. You don't need any background on power objects or really anything. We're going to teach you everything you need to know on creating power objects. And by the end of the workshop, you're going to have at least 3 amazing, powerful objects that you can use to enhance your life and your high-frequency experience on Earth. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's so cool, like the way that Inelia has designed this workshop and everything that's going to come with it, the tools, the resources, the download of information and background around power objects. It's, it's pretty cool. I'm excited to see it, like the final version. We're still in the works on it, but it's one of those things, it's like a skill that once you develop, you can always have it to be able to do it on your own. And it could be with found objects. It could be the different modalities that Inelia shows in the workshop. But whatever it is, it's like you understand the energies of it, the creating the power object, and then also the like actually putting it together in the physical. So from the mystical and the physical, putting it together.
Exactly. And that's what we're all about at the Academy, is learning practical and mystical tools that you can use in your everyday life. Because that's what empowerment's all about. It's that you are the one who's capable and able to enhance and empower yourself and create the experiences you want to create. And, you don't have to do it alone. So you're going to be taught by Miss Inelia Benz, which is fantastic. We'll also have facilitators who will help us every step of the way. And you're going to be co-creating it with other group members as well, which is really exciting, actually. So much more to come. Check out iBenzAcademy.com. Sign up for our mailing list so that you can stay up to date about dates and timing, because this is definitely a workshop where you need to prepare, like gather materials and get time and space to work on these amazing power objects. So it's going to be so exciting. More to come soon.
Yep, definitely.
So that's also some of the work that we've been up to on our side, but it's also, I think, just at this time of year and the energies right now that are happening on the planet, it's very conducive to working and collaborating and co-creating as groups, because that's, really it. Like, that's, building the new paradigm, right? And it's also inspirational and fun and engaging. And, even if, let's say, you're in the southern hemisphere and it's the dead of winter and you're coming out into spring, like, there's still so many ways to co-create and engage with your tribes too. And that's the key word, is that it's tribes. There's more than one, right? And I think that's why there's so many awesome, amazing projects happening. It's like, ooh, there's a project. Oh, I want to do that. Oh, there's this cool tribe. What are they about? And like all these things happening. So it's a really exciting time.
Yeah, it's helpful to have like a resource like Walk With Me Now to be plugged into the different tribes. So like interest groups are a tribe, let's say, with a lot of different interest groups. But there's plenty out there. So if you're looking around and you're like, I don't have anybody to connect with, well, it's just not true.
No, it's not.
When you got a planet of billions of people, it's just not true.
No.
So, I don't have anybody to connect with. You're welcome here and do the processing around that.
Yeah.
Recommend the fear process or the firewalls processing exercise.
Yep.
Because it is simple. It is easy. And I think we're to the point where actually right now it's more like, oh man, they're all so interesting. They're all so cool.
Yes.
Like, can I do it all? Okay. I want to do it all. But sometimes it's like, well, maybe not that one right now.
Yeah.
And Inelia recently was talking about prime purpose and a couple episodes ago in the Driving to the Res podcast, and your prime purpose, and looking at that when you're connecting with groups and when you have such a buffet, like a bountiful buffet of options of projects and things that you can engage in. It's like checking it with your prime purpose. Mm-hmm. Do you remember what your prime purpose is?
Oh, okay. Let's see if we can do this.
Okay.
All right. So my prime purpose is to express my true source frequency, my true frequency, and to have that frequency reflected back to me via the physical universe.
Through experience.
Through experiences, yes.
Yeah.
To reflect that true source frequency back to me through experiences in the physical universe.
Hey!
Woo!
That's good, yeah.
Man, that took some practice.
It does.
Still taking some practice.
Yeah. It's like, it's definitely getting more and more, like, embedded.
Yeah.
It's like, before I think I listened to the podcast and then I was like, prime purpose, what?
Yeah, I had to re-listen.
What was that?
Yeah.
And like rewind.
Yeah, and if you haven't checked out that podcast, we'll put the link in show notes. It's amazing.
It is.
Very relevant to, awake, high frequency light workers such as yourselves who are listening to this podcast, because that's really why we're here, is to express our true frequency, because we are extremely high frequency beings. And part of the reason why we, signed up, volunteered to incarnate on Earth was to, experience the split, but also, to be that light, to be that source frequency. And incarnating on the Earth is all about experiences. So we might as well have fun doing it.
It's true. Yeah. Enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's what it feels like the last few weeks that all of these projects and co-creations have been about. Like, there's just so many amazing experiences happening right now. And they can come in all sorts of flavors and shapes and, moments of time. And they can sometimes just be as simple or as fast as eating an amazing tomato freshly grown from the Shaman Shack greenhouse, or like an extended 3-hour walk, picking blackberries and seeing the ocean, or making jam or whatever, right? It's all about connection.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, and opening ourselves up to connect. It's really been a fun journey to see that transformation. We've even had visitors at the Shaman Shack from Walk With Me Now, and as you mentioned earlier, from the community, like local community too. And just by being open to connect and allowing ourselves to have others in our field just makes those opportunities that much greater. And then they just happen organically. Right? Because that's what we do as humans.
Yep.
We connect. Yeah,
one of my favorite firewalls, is there are no high frequency awake people where I live. They just don't exist. It's just not a thing. Like, oh my gosh, it's just so not true, for one. But it can be a common one. So, if you got that program running, take a look at it, get curious. Because as Ash said, there's 8 billion people, we don't even know. Who knows what the numbers actually are, but there are all these people on the planet. And, a lot of them chose to have the new paradigm experience. And they're around. They're everywhere. But we also have to be open and available to see them, to connect, and be proactive about it, too. We can't meet people sitting on our butts on the couch. Well, I guess you could through Zoom or whatever, or the internet, but... Or
forums.
Yes. But sometimes physical connection is what's needed, too.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And, and then it's looking at that physical connection, you have to be willing to put yourself out there, right?
Yeah.
Make it happen, There isn't a group that's meeting that's high frequency and awake and interesting. Think about what you're interested in and put yourself out there and create a meetup.
Yeah, go do it.
Invite people to come and to connect.
Exactly.
So there's always opportunities for that.
Yep. Yeah, it's like if you want to create a hiking group because they're just, I feel like there's no one in your area who hikes or no high frequency, cool people who hike. It's like, okay, then there's a lot of tools out there that can make it happen. It could be as simple as print out a piece of paper, put it on your bulletin board at your, local grocery store or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or do like an online meetup thing. There's tons of websites that do that. So all of the structure's there. It's just a matter of sometimes busting through our own limitations and doing it.
To make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, definitely have had that experience before of not being available and being very resistant to connect. So that's where the processing exercise comes in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. And becoming aware of those, like, habits
Yes.
is helpful. When your default's like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't know you. It's like, wait a minute.
Oh, man. Yes.
That's a good one. I'm like, oh, yeah, wait, no. I do want to connect. Connection. It's a great thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. Nope. Not going to follow that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, something we've also been doing a lot lately, which also came up in another Driving to the Reds podcast, we'll link that one as well, is stacking our tools.
Yes.
Right? So meaning stacking our ascension tools in order to have, let's say, like a really solid outcome. Mm-hmm. So instead of getting like very focused on one singular item, like I will only use daydreaming, it's actually like you can daydream and you can use sigils. You can use, like we talked about before, power objects. Mm-hmm. You can use mudras or breath work, or there's like so many options, right? And recently, Inelia shared the love sigil.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So awesome.
It is.
It's just
amazing.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. So the love sigil is one that, for me, I've been working with and sitting with, and even that, it's just powerful. Yeah. I've already been noticing shifts and changes and energies that come up to process, and it's like, poop, they're gone. Mm-hmm. It's incredible.
Yep. Yeah, a couple months ago, actually, I've been working with the love sigil for a while, but a couple months ago, I realized that I needed to work on feng shui for my house, which is another tool to stack, sure. Right? And I was like, the love sigil, I'm going to put this in my relationship corner. Mm-hmm. And then cleaned up some other stuff and like, wow, holy smokes, it is very effective. It's been very, very effective. So it's part of that believable story, right? And it's a powerful tool that's been charged by the human collective. Yeah. And all of this will be explained in the Power Objects workshop, actually, because Inelia goes into explaining how sigils work and why they're powerful, right? So the point is that she created the sigil in part, but also borrowed it from older runes and sigils from the human collective too. So it's got this like history, right? But it's because of that, it's just infused. And so when you really like sit with it or meditate with it or allow those energies to come through, or put it in your your relationship corner, or put it under your pillow, or even just post it around your house so you see it all the time, like that starts to infuse your life with that energy. Mm-hmm. And to infuse your life with love, unlimited, pure love, like, wow, things happen.
Yeah, it's incredible. I got it. I don't remember when I received the love sigil the first time, but I got it on a stone. It was painted on a stone, and I was like, oh, here, you haven't had this yet. Here you go, and hands it to me, and I'm like, oh, brilliant, cool,
Thank
thanks.
you.
And I put it up in my room, and the funny thing is, and it was in the love corner of the house, and looking at it, and I just like knew, I'm like, wow, this is incredible. And I didn't quite know what to do with it yet. Like at that time, it was more like I could just look at it and walk by and appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And so I do that every day. And within weeks, just massive transformation happened. Yeah. So just so everybody knows, things will change.
Yes. You have your what do you call it? Warning or whatever? Or, what's it called? Like at the beginning of ascension101.com. Anyway, the point is, if you use it, you will attract love in your life.
Yeah. And also, if things are not compatible for that love, then it will be cleared out.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool and how powerful it is and how quickly it worked. And even my experience of working with that sigil has evolved. Whereas before it was like I said, I could just look at it for a minute or two and then walk away and come back later and like look at it, appreciate it, come back, or like walk away. And now I can actually sit with it. And Inelia will add the link here, but she has a guidance and when she shared the sigil that you could sit with it and daydream and imagine that type of relationship and those types of relationship in your life. And now I like can actually get to that point. I'm like, whoa, cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it feels like progress for sure.
Yep.
So definitely a powerful tool, and one that I hope everyone will use because it really brings up love in every way, not just romantic love. You know, it's not limited.
Nope, it's not at all.
Yeah.
And this is why we use these kinds of tools, right? Whether it's sigils or magic or, you know, putting a vision board on our wall or creating, you know, power objects with intention and jobs. It's because, you know, we want to set ourselves up for success. It's like if you're doing a project, let's say putting in a new front door, you got to have like the right tools for it, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot harder if you don't have the right tools.
Yep.
So these are our tools as light workers and as empowered people who are bringing in the new paradigm. So let's make it easier for ourselves. We don't have to do it alone.
Yeah.
And it's fun, right?
It's our strength.
Our strength. And it works.
Yep.
Like sigils and magic are used everywhere, like all the time. The workshop will explain that in great depth. And it was also talked a little bit about in that podcast link we'll share, but it works. That's why it's used by the Human Collective. And it's one of our rules of engagement, actually. Yep. So it's well within the matrix. So we might as well, you know, use it from a conscious, empowered way.
Yes.
And, you know, make it fun and easy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. It doesn't have to be hard.
It does not. Unless you're into that, but I don't recommend it. Yes. It does not need to be done alone or be difficult.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Which is a great thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lots of exciting things to come. And, you know, call to action. Take time today and connect. Where are your tribes, right? And by connection, that could be as simple as picking up the phone, sending a phone call or a text, or working on an inspiring project, or sitting in connection with Gaia or the Human Collective. There's so many ways in which we connect. But in order for us to really embody our prime purpose, it really comes down to connection, because those experiences are reflected back to us through the physical universe, right? And, well, there you have it. So let's connect.
Oop, somebody's trying to connect.
There's a Human Collective. Ashley.
Connection. Brilliant.
So, go to iBenzAcademy.com. Sign up for our newsletter to get the latest info about the upcoming Power Objects workshop. It's going to be amazing. Seats are limited, so make sure that you get doing and get ready now, okay? More to come on that. In the meantime, check out the Love Sigil and all the other amazing tools available to us through the iBenz method.
Yay, we'll see you there.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.